All right, guys, welcome back to episode 7 of Gambit Market Podcast. I'm here with Braden Lockwood. Braden, how are you?
We're doing well, Echo. How about you?
Doing good, doing good. Guys, today is a special. I know I say this in every episode, but this day is actually a very special episode. The reason why
Every episode is special, man.
every episode is special, but this one's a little extra special. And you know why, Braden? Today's the day I got
No.
I got a microphone today.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice, man. I'm
All right.
happy you made the investment. I know. We sent you some company funds to improve the quality of the podcast
That's what I was.
little by little.
That's what I got. So
Yeah, that's next week. Next week, Echo.
100%. All right, guys. Today the topic is we want to kind of how in the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, we want to kind of reveal the curtain and show you what it actually took and the process, the mindset, the grit, the chaos of building a consumer app. So,
Dude,
Braden,
I think you used the Wizard of Oz as a metaphor in the last 3 straight episodes. But yeah, we're pulling back the curtain, and we wanted to do an episode just talking about a little behind the scenes, what it's like building a consumer app, from developing until like actually acquiring customers and users and traction, and what our experience has been like. So
yeah. You know what's interesting too? Like, there's the experience from your perspective, kind of like managing and overseeing, and then there's the experience from like the dev perspective too. So it's kind of cool.
should we start with the dev perspective, Echo? How how has your experience been building out Gambit markets thus far?
It's a good question, man. The thing is, like, it came at a time when there was this like weird transition period between like regular way of building and the new agentic way of building. Like, people just started getting into Claude Code. I remember Ben Yoon, one of our devs, we were talking back and forth on Telegram, and one of the things he was asking me was like, what my process is when I'm building and what his process is, and we were sharing. And I remember we were talking about like, oh, like I started using this thing called Claude Code on the terminal, and like, but everyone was talking about it, So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird because it's like you're building this thing, but you're also relearning or like figuring out a new way to build it that's much more efficient at the same time. That's what I remember, which is kind of cool,
No, good answer.
Ask me, Braden. Ask me. Go in. Like, what do you want to know? Like, it's a big question.
All right, so
like, is there anything you really wanted to know ever, like while we were building?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Echo. Because obviously, like, I don't get too much in the weeds with you guys about how things are built, more like big picture. But like while building, I guess I'm curious. Like, you're building out AI agents using AI. How much do you use AI in the creative side of things as well? Like how much do you prompt AI versus how, like, to actually do the code and just get really specific with what you want, versus how much do you also use AI to help you, I guess, ideate features and kind of ideate the process itself before getting down into like the nitty-gritty code?
That's a good question, man. So I have like I've never met someone that does it this specific way, but this is just what I've been doing and it's been working for me. So I'm gonna kind of reveal this. No, this is the first time ever, like publicly, like I'm revealing this. I'll share.
This is serious alpha, Echo. Is that what you're saying?
This is like the most alpha, dude. So this is what I personally do. Okay, when it comes to anything, whether it's ideating, like wanting to look maybe specific into something that you built in the nitty gritty, maybe you just want to look at the algorithm. This is literally all I do. Ready? So step one, I don't even look at my computer. I sit down on my couch, I stare at the ceiling, and I try to come up with my own ideas. That's it. Like, and I really, really, really try. Then I have like a list of ideas. Again, it could be for whatever, whether it's an ideating stage or like maybe there's a problem and I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. I just sit down and come up with pure ideas. Okay. Then I try to see how those ideas connect. And anyways, like now I have a concept in my mind. Then this is what I do. I don't tell AI my concept at all. I don't tell it anything I thought about. I say and I give it a big prompt. I'm like, I use Whisperflow, so I just speak to it instead of typing. I'm like, listen, like think from first principles, break down this, break down that. You have full reins, read only, plan, etc. Do this and try to come up list of reasons for whatever. Okay, so now it's going to come up with its own ideas from first principles without me sharing context. you with me so far? That's
Yeah,
step
I'm
one.
with you.
Then
I'm
step
following.
two, I open up a side chat and I do the exact same prompt, except I do give it the context. Both of them, I make sure they don't see each other. Okay, it's not a side chat; it's a whole new session.
Yeah.
Then after like maybe like 10 minutes of it grinding, this has a conclusion and this has a conclusion. One has the context from my thinking, and one does not. Then I have them debate each other to see like what is the truth, each using agent teams, not sub agents. Like I go really, really deep into this. Then finally I get the source of truth, and then from that I make that the guiding principle. So yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah.
I was just kind of like shooting something in the dark. I didn't I didn't know you were gonna have
No,
such an in-depth
I have a
process, but
full
that's
process.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's like anyways, that's what I've been using. I can go more specifics into technical, like what terminal, but like I don't think there's a point. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think that would go largely over my head. But I did tell you, Echo, that I did vibe code my first full
Oh yeah,
website
you did. You
the other
did.
day. I did dude, because we're planning out our wedding right now. And for anyone who's been married in the last like 10 years, everything is just ridiculously expensive. And so even those sites for like doing wedding RSVPs, if you want to use one of their templates, it's like $500 just to like receive RSVPs and use one of their templates. And so I was like, you know what, Echo, it's time to learn from my developer friend here and just vibe code this thing start to finish.
Damn.
And I was able to hook it up with a back end, get the wedding in like the guest list. I was able to do a bunch of prompts, get a good flow, a good UI, and yeah,
Wow.
start to finish with
Okay,
zero like code knowledge. So
wow, that's interesting for two reasons. Like one, it's like a good segue into like because it's so easy to build apps,
yeah,
in order to build a consumer app, you have to do something that is not so easy that not just anyone can do it. Otherwise, you don't really have a
yeah.
moat. But the second thing that's interesting is that I didn't really get to experience this because I never got the invitation to this wedding. So maybe you can send me an invite. Like,
Dude, I formally invited you like today, you know? Um,
yeah, guys, I had to beg for the invitation, but it's okay. Like, it's all good.
yeah. I mean, you met my mom via camera today, so that's about as that's about as that's up
I,
there, you know? That's on the checklist for getting a wedding invite.
yes. But yo, Braden, like, sorry, can I jump back to the thing? I have a quick question.
Yeah, yeah,
If
go for
it's
it.
so easy to build an app, like even from a non-technical user, then what's the moat? Like, what's like, can't anyone just build their own Gambit markets? Not podcast, but Gambit markets.
I guess that's
Because
the question, right?
anybody can connect to Poly Market or Kalshi and build
Mhm.
agents, right? So what's so special, right? Like, let's go deep into that.
So
Guys, this is sorry, real quick. This is how you know we're actually objective here. You see, like we're challenging this to the team, bro.
yeah, you're asking a dangerous question, Echo.
We're about to get fired. Okay, go.
No, but I think there's there's a few answers. One is just because anyone can do it doesn't mean other people are doing it, right? So there's still like just the first mover element, you know, and I think like if you look at the competitive landscape, no one else is doing this, and so that doesn't mean if we were to be wildly successful, more apps like ours would pop up, you know, all over the place, I'm sure. But also like you mentioned in the last segment, the users become the moat at a certain point. You know, like not only does the network effect on the app and the social elements become the moat in terms of like people get familiar with the app, people have their friends on the app. In the same way that like Twitter, right? Like I don't think Twitter is like the apex of all technology to the point that another dev team couldn't put a Twitter together in like a period of time, right? But someone like many people have tried to launch Twitter-esque platforms and they all seem to fail, right? Because of the network effects of having users. And then, like you mentioned on the platform or on the podcast last week, there's a separate moat, which is the user activity actually improves the AI agent behavior. So the more users, the more configurations we have, the more profitable agents we have. That user activity becomes the moat into the platform as well. So a couple things, Echo, just one of which is like, I'm a big believer that like doing, is a moat in itself. There's a lot of people that like ideate and think like, oh, I could build this, or I could vibe code this, but actually going out there and doing it is a whole other thing. And then once you've done that and you've gotten that first wave of user acquisition, it becomes a separate moat where there's network effects and the user activity actually like really increases the value of the platform.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Yeah. What's answer your own question, Echo? What is our moat? You built a lot of the platform. What's our moat?
Okay, so I'll bring it like as an overview first, and then maybe go more specific. Like, for example, like let's just say we were able to snap our fingers and build a self-driving car, like in terms of the physical aspects of it, like the material, the wiring, etc. Well, it wouldn't drive as well as a Tesla, because Tesla is not just a piece of metal. It has like all the data from all the drivers. Every time you drive a Tesla, that gets put into their central, and then it gets. So there's that aspect, which is what you alluded to. It's like the literal activity from every single user, every single agent being created. That just goes back into the system, and then it learns from what went well, what didn't, and it goes. So there's that. So let's just say you were able to vibe code something, you connected it to Calshi, Polymarket, et cetera, et cetera. You made sure that it was safe and secure, connected it with the backend with crypto, your wallet. Let's say you did all of that, okay? Well, your agent has to perform, right? And it has to be scalable. And how are you going to do that without users? It's very tough, right? So that's a big thing. Yeah, that honestly, to me, that's the main thing. It's the data. Like, data is the moat. It's no one else has access to this data except for us, if you think about it, which is crazy. And also, like, the actual agents themselves, like each single agent type it's not just a personality. Oh, this is a crypto agent, or this is that. Like, we literally have our own proprietary backend for each single agent. And it's not like we copied and pasted either. It's like we made a specific configuration for like a crypto agent, different from a smart money agent, based off actual data from the market and what it's giving us. And then we optimize based off internal tests, but also like back tests, but also user activity. Like, these are all things that like nobody has access to. It's literally just us.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, what? So
no, I think that's a good response. But at the same time, now I'm gonna challenge you. Like,
no, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Like, I do think, just if we look at general trends with the way that AI like coding is going, and I just think the ease at which anyone is going to be able to build applications, like the barrier to entry is just going to keep going lower and lower, right? So a project that used to require like $10 million in VC funding to even like get started, now like high school kids can start in their garage, you know? And so the moat to build is lower than ever. And what it means is that the necessity for good marketing and good storytelling becomes like almost the harder part. Like the actual app itself, obviously it can make or break a project, but the execution of the marketing, the execution of the storytelling, of how you like position yourself in the market, of the timing, like I think now more than ever, that is the most important aspect. And that's kind of where we are at now in this journey, right? Is I think everyone that's used our platform has had like a overwhelmingly positive response to the user interface, to the features, to the agent ecosystem. And we've found, like, statistically, right, looking at just our analytics, it's very sticky. Like people that use the platform, they keep coming back and they stay on pages for long periods of time. Like it's not a super high bounce rate. It's a really high return rate. And so then like where we're at is just finding more users, telling the story, getting the story across to more people, the vision across to more people. And yeah, I think that ultimately in like the next 5 years or so, like that's going to become the more important part and the harder part of building a consumer app is just communicating it to the user and getting it across to the user.
Yeah, like acquisition and brand. It's like Nike too, right? Shoes are like a commodity, but yet their valuation is through the roof. Why is that, right? It's like the brand, the execution, the marketing.
And like even if we stay within crypto, right? Like think about what happened with Pump Fun.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like a meme coin, there used to be at least like a certain amount of like moat just to creating a meme coin. You needed to put up maybe like $5,000-$10,000 in liquidity. You needed to like hire a dev to help handle that. You need like there was a lot of logistics that went into just launching a coin period on a blockchain. And so what we saw was like random coins without a bunch of like influencers behind them, or just random coins could really perform well because there just wasn't that much competition, because they already went that level of like making the coin, providing the liquidity, hiring a dev. So there was just less competition. Whereas I think what we've seen in the last year or so is the coins that make it, now that the moat is zero, right? It's literally like having $1 in Solana in your wallet.
It's insane.
You need to either have like a really good go-to-market plan for like coordinated influencers, or you need a community that is like really good at storytelling, right? That like can meme the coin into the crypto Twitter consciousness. You need like really effective mass marketing campaign for your coin. And I think we're going to see a similar thing with consumer apps, right? Like you need your community to become your marketing force. And yeah, I think that's a good segue, Echo, to just like where we're at, which is how do you build an app that like has the right incentive mechanisms in place to achieve that, to create a really great user experience for your users, but then also kind of evangelize your users to become your marketing force and to invite more people and to talk about it on socials. How do we do it, Echo?
Well, listen, I don't want to be the guy that goes back to previous episodes, but rewards and incentives.
Yeah.
That was like an entire 30 minutes. That's funny, man. Yo, by the way, we never got your take, man. Like from your perspective, how was it? Like this whole journey from A to Z? Because I wasn't there from the beginning, man. You were.
True.
I kind of joined in towards the end, helped with the
Yeah.
agents. Like, how is it from your lens, man? I can only picture you have all these developers. You're like managing them every day. It's like you're not into the nitty gritty. You're not looking at the code even, right? So, like, how is that? How does that feel? I don't know.
Dude, that's a good.
Like,
I love it.
What was a challenge? What was like something that you loved? Like, talk about that.
So I think like the process for me has just been really fulfilling, to go from A to Z. And I think the aspects that I've really enjoyed is I feel like I've grown and learned a lot about code and about AI, just because it's necessary even to just communicate effectively, right? So even though I might not be getting nitty gritty, I still like have pushed myself to learn a lot about, the space, about blockchain, about AI, so that I can give good direction in terms of what we're building. But from my vantage point, it's just really fulfilling because like the pace at which we were able to build was really quick. So we were working in 2-week sprints, and we would meet up and we could be like, hey guys, I think we want to pivot from operating more like a sports book to really embracing this new prediction market technology. Like that was one big pivot that we made. And it was like, okay, like this is a 2, maybe 4-week sprint to move everything on the platform over to prediction markets, to get the APIs up, to move the agent ecosystem onto the like poly market rails, and so I think what I've loved from my perspective is just the rate at which we were able to go from like a creative idea to something that I can test like in a week or two. And I love that because Echo, that's where I am. I'm like number one tester, to where like the second something's live, I'm putting like $100-200 in an agent. I'm testing out the strategy. I'm testing out the copy agents. I'm using the different features and just giving rapid feedback as fast as I can, so that we can continue iterating and building. And
sorry, I really have to. I really want to know about this one specific thing. So
yeah, hop in.
There was a phenomena, bro, that occurred. Okay, guys. So basically, there was this thing that would just occur. I call it the Gambit phenomena. Okay, and it happened exclusively with our team. And I've worked with many teams before. It's never happened, but it happened here. Okay, so and I thought it was just me, to be honest. But then it started happening with other devs, and I'm just gonna say the 2 words, and you're gonna know right away. Ready?
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, go.
I don't think. Wait, do you? Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Going rogue.
Going rogue. Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
no, that's a good
You want to
segue,
explain
man.
kind of what that phenomena is and like what your experience was? Because sometimes it did pretty well. I don't know. So
Yeah. So I guess like in my role, like while building, it's different than my role now that we're in. Like I'm more of a like front facing marketing focused role, whereas while we were building, I'm basically like the product manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while managing devs, like I feel like it's like there's this important balance where, because I'm not going to go as nitty gritty as you guys like know, I think that I found that I want to give you, Echo, and like the team that is very like also creative and smart individuals. I want to give you guys the freedom to build cool stuff. So like I feel like in my role as like product manager, I want to give you direction. I want to give you deadlines. And then I also want to give you like freedom. And I feel like going rogue is like,
we have to explain what going rogue is, dude. We gotta
it's like when you guys take the freedom route and like neglect the deadlines and direction route. But sometimes it's good, right? So it's like a balance, right? Like I want, if Echo has like this idea and he wants to like completely rewrite the agentic like thought process, and he's going to completely ignore like 3 other items, like there's sometimes where it's like, Echo, you got to reel it in. Like these 2 things need to get done. And like, you kind of got to like come down on Echo. But other times,
Echo, it's a phenomenon amongst other devs too, bro. I'm gonna say
it's primarily Echo, to be
honest. Let me tell you what it is. Okay, guys. Basically, there's this like goal, okay, and everyone agrees that this is like what we should be doing.
Yeah.
And then one of the devs primarily goes rogue, completely goes rogue. But then we come back with some gold, bro. The funniest thing though was when I stopped going rogue towards the end, but then it was the funniest thing. It was like everyone on the team kind of agreed, like, okay, that's it. We're not gonna do any more UI changes. Because one of the things that I did to go rogue is I just completely revamped the entire UI. And Braden's like, okay, guys, that's it. Like, let's just not go rogue anymore. about UI specifically. I'm down for it, And then like as time progressed, one of the devs, like, basically the task was to like maybe make some UI changes, like with some buttons.
Yeah. It
And
was like add like 3 new buttons, like some like action buttons.
that's all we told the dev to do, And then like as like we had morning meetings, and then like I didn't really have too much insight, like nothing was really surfaced. And then at the end of the week, I think bro just showed us like what he did. It's like completely
I don't
different.
even think he showed us, bro. He just like pushed it live. He pushed it just straight live to the main site, and we logged in. We were just like, whoa, this is like a different app, bro.
Bro, this guy just changed the entire app. Braden and I looked at each other, we talked, we're like, yo, this guy went rogue.
No, you're right, Echo. You were not the only dev to go
But
rogue.
it worked out. The UI looked pretty nice. Like I liked it, So
But if you look at like a lot of the coolest features I think that are on the site, like a lot of my favorite things that we have we can attribute at least in part to someone going rogue.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think to tie it back to like the name of this episode, building a consumer app, I feel like when working with devs, or if you're a dev yourself, like you got to go rogue sometimes, and I think that's maybe one of the best things I did operating as like a product manager in this process was I did give you guys enough freedom and enough,
leeway to do this.
Yeah, like ownership, we specifically wanted devs that had ideas, like when we were interviewing for positions, there's a lot of devs that we felt pretty confident could like execute what we told them we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I feel like the team that we went with were people that brought ideas to that conversation, and we're like, well, what if we made this architectural change, or what if we pivoted the platform and like positioned it this way? And I feel like that's kind of like where things are going in both like the management perspective, is I think like managers and founders and whatnot are getting like more technical and like learning how to vibe code. But then also like the value of a dev, now that like AI can do so much of those like basic tasks, the value of a dev is also having some understanding of the business side of things too, and user acquisition and like contributing ideas to the brainstorming process alongside execution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, guys, if you're watching this and you're thinking about building like a consumer app, I think one of the key metrics is that you have to have a team of crazies. If they don't make eye contact as much when they speak, that's also good. There's a symbol of autism. Somewhat business oriented, has ownership. Those are and you have to have a project manager that's able to like handle the chaos and the crazy. So
Yeah.
It kind of all worked out, man. It was pretty cool. I actually said no to like working with Gambit. I don't know if they told you the story, but I said no to it at the start. And then
Really?
Yeah. Like I actually said no.
No one told me, Echo. I didn't know you were on the fence.
No, not only I wasn't even on the fence. I just straight up said no. Like that was the situation, because I was working on like other projects and stuff. I was in Morocco. I was just traveling, and then like I'm glad I said yes at the end. It was cool. One of the guys called me, and it was cool, very cool. And now we're here, episode 7.
Cool, man. Episode 7 in the books.
All right.
But yeah, man.
Listen,
any parting wisdom, I guess. Like we're still on this journey, and I guess that's part of what this podcast is. We want to invite you guys to be a part of our consumer app journey, and we're we've been building for almost a year now, or over a year now, and are just getting that next step of building a consumer app, which is like user acquisition and really leaning into marketing. And yeah, I hope that this episode gave some insight into what that process is like. And, we'll keep you guys in the loop as we continue to go through this process and this podcast. And yeah, Echo, do you want to get us some?
This is the background an AI generated one. It's called love.
You didn't give me the choice this time, Echo, but
Making a choice. In fact, the whole point of this, Braden, is that you never had a choice. Okay, it was all determined in advance. And the reality is, you just came to this world to know why you made the
Echo,
choice.
you can't push your like your like determinism, like the philosophy every episode.
Yeah, I have to, man. Kale, you have to say
Alright.
one thing philosophical right now. Go before we end the stream.
You know, be true to thyself.
That's
Episode
just
7.
All right. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one.
All right, thank you guys.